What is up? It's your boy Aing here, bringing to you guys a brand new freaking video, man. So look, listen, today we got a banger because we're gonna be doing a review on my 2020 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. We're gonna do an on-road review. I've owned this thing for around 13,000 miles or 6 months, and well, I got a lot of experience behind the wheel. A lot of people want to know it's sport. It's supposed to be sport tuned. Not really, but we're gonna do a review on this nonetheless. So if you're interested on how one of these rides 6 months into ownership, well, you're about to find out. So without further ado, please leave a like, a comment, and a subscription. We're on our road to 1,000 subscribers, and it'd be pretty cool to hit 1,000 before November. Let's go inside, let's take care of business, and let's get on to an on-road review. Alrighty, so now we're in the truck. Let's get on to the on-road review. We're gonna go over a few things that I found in different forums and on different YouTube channels that were frequently asked questions, such as, how is this truck on the road for daily use? How is this truck perform off-road? Is the suspension good for off-road? How do the wheels and tires hold up? How do your passengers feel? So we're gonna go through all of that today. So without further ado, let's get right on to today's video. Let's get this show on the road. Literally, I've owned this truck for 13,000 miles. So if you ask me, I've had a good amount of time behind the wheel of one of these things, and I couldn't be happier. So how does this truck do on the road? This truck, in my opinion, does great. I have no complaints at all with this truck. I've driven it on a 3,000 mile road trip, and it has done just fine. It's done more than just fine. It's done great. I've had no complaints about it as far as suspension goes. If it's just gonna be a pavement princess, then go with this 100% all the way. It has no problems tackling your day-to-day obstacles. If you're just towing some stuff, you know, running to Home Depot now and then, it is great. So on-road, is it good? Yes, 100% recommend this. It doesn't drive like, you know, a luxury SUV, but it drives like a truck, and it's very comfortable in my opinion, until you hit bumps. Bumps are the worst enemy in this truck. I feel like my back is about to bust every time I go over a train track, so I have to reduce my speed very much. Now if you're like, oh, you have to slow down anyway, yes, I just feel like I have to go a little bit slower than I do in my Corolla or my dad's Pilot. Now, how is this truck off-road? So I actually took this truck off-roading once. I went up to a trail called Peter's Mill Run. It was a nice trail, very moderate to easy, I would say, on the skill level, and it did great. I had no problems at all with the suspension. Obviously, more height would have been preferred, but stock height, I was able to clear some pretty interesting stuff. I don't have footage. I will go out to record a video on stock suspension. If you're interested in that, let me know down below. A lot of people want to know what these things are capable off-road, and it's great. I really appreciate this truck that I could buy it from the factory and take it off-road. Obviously, you're not climbing Mount Everest with this thing, so keep that in mind. But nonetheless, off-roading this thing, it was a breeze. I love it. I loved every second of it. With that being said, it is a little bit stiff. I didn't actually get to test drive a TRD off-road. I was driven around in one while we were finding my TRD Sport. In that little test run, the TRD off-road felt a lot better. It felt like it was dampening the hits a lot more than my TRD Sport actually does. When you're on-road, you want to be a little bit stiffer just so you have a better on-road experience. But if you're getting this truck to off-road, go with the off-road. No question about it. If you're looking to have a very nice truck on the road, and by that I mean, you know, the TRD Sport definitely, in my opinion, looks a lot more stylish for the city driver. Of course, if you like an off-road vehicle, you like the off-road wheels, 16 inches is better than 17. You know, the blacked out fenders makes it look more mean and aggressive for off-roading. But if you're an on-road type of dude, that hood scoop gains you 30 horsepower. Not really. But you can tell your friends that they don't know. The wheels, 17 inches, acceleration. It's just a better looking package for the everyday pavement princess.
I insulted myself, I understand.
I don't have no problem with my TRD Sport on-road or off-road. Now let's talk about wheels and tires. A lot of people always ask me, are those tires good for off-roading? Again, it depends on what you're doing. If you're trying to climb Mount Everest, probably not. But if you're just using it for mild off-roading, you hit some gravel roads every now and then, they're great, especially because most of your life is going to be on road. You want to keep on-road tires on as much as you can. I found a gravel trail to take you guys on it so you guys could see, this is unfiltered, so you guys can see how much I'm bumping, how much my voice changes, so you can keep that in mind if you're, you know, on the road with your family and you happen to come around a bumpy road. This is how the suspension is inside the cabin. There is a bit of shaking. The wheels and tires are great. I love the wheels. I always wanted a TRD Sport. I never liked the wheels. And now that we have these new wheels on here, oh boy, do they look sweet. I really do enjoy them a lot more than the previous generation. I feel like these tires are really good. On that road trip that I took that was 3,000 miles long, I actually went through like horrible winds and rains. I'm talking about like you can't see 5 feet ahead of you, and they held up great. On road and for the time that I went off road, there was no problems at all. It's been great this whole time, so I can't complain. I think the wheels and tires that they put on the TRD Sport models are great. This is a perfect spot to talk about comfort. We're not on the most extreme of terrains, but every now and then you do come across, you know, a gravel road or two. If you have a gravel road around you that you know you're going to be on a lot of the time, I would try to see if the dealership would let you take it there. Take an off-road, take a TRD Sport, see how they handle and see if you can even tell a difference. I'm willing to bet it's very minor, if at all. But as far as comfort, I have no problem at all. From a driver's perspective, I really enjoy this truck. The comfort is there. With the new powered seatings, it's even better. You can hear there's a lot of rattling. We went to Texas to pick up Sandy's mom and 2 of her cousins. When we were out there, we had her 2 little cousins in the back seat with her mom. Her 2 little cousins were not happy. They absolutely hated it. They were not comfortable at all because they weren't even full-size adults. I mean, they were young, 13, 14. I don't know their exact age, but they were young. So they were very impatient, uncomfortable with the back seat. So that's that. Let me know if you guys have any family members, friends, kids have ridden in the backseat and have a similar experience. Did they like the backseat? Did they not like it? And now one of the final things that we're going to talk about that I feel is very important is how has it held up over time? Has there been a difference? Has it been a dramatic change from when you first bought the truck to now 6 months into ownership? I'll be very honest. Yes, there is a change. Now, is it a negative change? I don't know. For me, it was a positive change. When I first got this truck, and this is why I don't really like when other people do reviews on it, because they don't own them for too long enough to give people valuable advice. When I first bought it, the suspension was very stiff. Now, I've even heard that as I go further in, it's gonna get less and less stiff. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Hopefully it's a good thing where it doesn't get like bouncy, but where it gets to the perfect amount of stiffness and comfort. Let me know down below if you guys have had the same experience. Let me know if you have a TRD Sport. Let me know if you have a TRD Off-Road. And how is your suspension doing? So if this video helped you out at all, please leave a like, a comment, and a subscription. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Other than that, it's been your boy. I'm out of like an Audi. I'll see you tomorrow. Cinco de Malo. Peace.